switch it up. She went tryna fuck, now she tryna give it up. Flooded up my chain with some pork, switch it up, little nigga. Switch it up, was rocking European, but I had to switch it up. Now I make my own drip, your bitch lick it up. Now I'm on my own dick, I had to switch it up, little nigga. Switch it up, add it up, stack it up, rack it up, back it up, that's enough. Switch it up, got a new spot, this one too hot. Took a few shots, like I'm Tupac. She a old head, say she new pop. Jamie old head, say I'm a new pop. All around the world, it's the same song. Never seen your girl with her pants on. Never seen a vibe that I ain't on. Said I'm a star, put my name on. Broke last year, but I had to switch it up. $1 million later, now they mad I switch it up. She went tryna fuck, now she tryna give it up. Flooded up my chain with some pork, switch it up, little nigga. Switch it up, was rocking European, but I had to switch it up. Now I make my own drip, your bitch lick it up. Now I'm on my own dick, I had to switch it up, Shit is crazy, I'm so wavy, that's why they hate me. But they can't stop me, they can't copy me. I'm an anomaly, switching up the whip, flipping up the script. Never giving up, always getting up. Had to make a promise, we gon' live it up. Let's to ever do it, they gon' mention us. I ain't tryna chill, cause we ain't rich enough. Say she had the weed, so we lit it up. Always smoke her out, so we switched it up. Went to natural from the weed, had to switch it up. She the only one I need, had to switch it up. Broke last year, but I had to switch it up. $1 million later, now they mad I switch it up. She been tryna fuck, now she tryna give it up. Flooded on my chain with some pork, switch it up, little nigga. Switch it up, was rocking European, but I had to switch it up. Now I'm in my own drip, your bitch lick it up. Now I'm on my own dick, I had to switch it up. Peace to the tribe, peace to the collective. Thing was acting weird. But anyways, man, I want to do a quick little intuitive reading. I pulled the spread already. And I just want to go through each and every card and just give an intuitive message for those who this message may resonate with you. It's not all the time that all messages resonate with all people. However, sometimes we need a little assistance along our spiritual journey, and that is the purpose of this reading. If you need help, if you need support, if you need understanding, that's what this reading is for. If you got it all figured out, you're doing well in life, and you ain't got no worries, no problems, no issues, this reading is probably not for you. If you got a nice flow of money and you satisfied financially, this reading is not for you, okay? If you are having a little bit of financial difficulties and you trying to understand how to change that financial difficulty or make your financial life a little bit better, this reading is for you. So if y'all understood what I just said, please press 1 in the chat, because I don't want it to be confused, because the people with money, like, oh, this reading ain't for me. And I told you that from the beginning. All right. So what I'm going to do is go through each and every card the way that I go through the card, the way that I understand the card. I've been studying astrology, tarot, and all things considered at a very deep level. Does not mean that I know more than you. It's just kind of the way that I get off. It's my version of porn. So if it resonates with you, good. If it doesn't, or if you don't understand, please feel free to ask for clarification within the comments or email me at hoodmystic@gmail.com. The first card that I pulled represents who this reading is for. This reading is for the people who worry, right? You are using your God force energy.
You are using your God force capacity and you're utilizing it for worry for whatever reason. It could be a real situation that you're faced with. It could be a real, like a very torturous existence. Whatever is happening, you are worried. Now, what does worry come from? Worry comes from sheep, sheep being surrounded by dogs. And so, because the sheep are surrounded by dogs, they fear of being strangled or taken out by the dog. But are they actually getting taken out by their dog? Who's to say? But that fear is keeping them stagnant. That fear or worry is keeping them stagnant. So the solution with this card is not to worry about the problem, but to really get fixated with the solution, because at this present time, you are worried about the problem too much. And worried about the problem creates the problem. So it's very important to deal with the solution. Now, the interesting thing about this spread is that we pull the five of disc, and the five of disc is ruled by Mercury and Taurus. Mercury and Taurus means that whatever I think about, I manifest. Whatever I think about, I manifest. So the worry is you are a powerful spiritual being and you're utilizing your spiritual power to manifest things that you need to worry about. And that is the problem. You're looking at the external as the problem, but really it's the internal. It is you through worry, anxiety, fear, doubt, insecurity that is creating the energies that allow you to be worrisome, fearsome, anxious, and things of that nature. So, additionally, this card is the Hierophant. Now, interesting enough, this card is ruled by Taurus, and it is the number 5. So, like I said previously, this card is ruled by the Mercury and Taurus. This card is the Hierophant, which is ruled by Taurus. Sorry for that delay. But this card is ruled by Taurus. Now, this card is also the ancestor card. So, letting you know, because, excuse me, spirituality is not put on here to confuse you. When you have correspondent energies just simply mean the same thing. So within the five of this, it's telling you more in reference to how your relationship with the ancestors is. As you think about it, it manifests. So what are you doing that you're not supposed to be doing during this time? You are paying attention to everything else besides your ancestors. And if you were paying attention to your ancestors, you would not be so worried. You would not be so worried. However, since you are not paying attention to your ancestors, working to your ancestors, you are starving. Let me break down the relationship between you and your ancestors. When you were a child, your ancestors fed you, clothed you, bathed you, made sure that you took it care of, and you couldn't offer them shit. You literally offered them shit. But yet and still they loved you and they took care of you. But then you grow up and you mature, and then now you only want conditional relationships. You only want relationships for which you are putting in the effort and you're getting something in return and you're seeking these particular things. But if that was the truth, your ass would not be here, because as a baby, you don't offer your ancestors nothing. Besides a crying, shitting, grouchy little cute mother. If you wasn't cute, biologically, they develop babies to be cute just so motherfuckers wouldn't kill them. So more or less to say that babies are held in handbaskets, but we still love them, we still care for them, we still nurture them. However, when we become quote unquote mature or separated from our relationship to the ancestors, we seek conditional relationships. We want good jobs, we want good husbands, we want good wives, we want good ancestors. Please make it make sense. That does not make any sense. So, what do you do with your ancestors to change your financial frequency if you are struggling financially, if you are worried about your finances? There is no way that you are consistent with offering to your ancestors and worrying at the same time. However, if you are in the space of worry, it's because you don't have a strong relationship with the Hierophant, with the spiritual understanding that you exist in, i.e., your ancestors. So, if your ancestors looked out for you, physically or non-physically, spiritually or materially, then you have to look out for them spiritually by offering things. And this goes into our reading from yesterday, doing altar work. Once again, let me reiterate. Doing spiritual things and not having an altar is like playing basketball without the ball. Doing spiritual things without having an altar is like playing football without the ball. Yeah, you can play it, but it's going to be a little weird. To which the device for divination is your altar work. Your altar work is more or less like your cockpit, pause, which allows you to communicate with the spiritual realms. And this is your ball for life. So understand this: when you see the Queen of Disc, you literally see her holding a ball. One's in the chat if you see the Queen of Disc holding a ball. She got the whole world in her hands. She got the whole world in her hands. So we're talking about energy. So the Queen of Disc can represent a person. It could represent a particular energy within a person. So if this resonates with you and you're a man, this is talking about your particular energy, your particular vibration, match with your frequency. So you can understand the symbology of the energy, so you can understand it. In reference to you, if you're a man who are struggling financially, having a difficult time, worrying about your financial future, then that will also understand the Queen of Discs. Because what? The Five of Discs is related to the Queen of Discs because it is in the same suit. So everybody is not going to resonate with this card because some people have already had their money together, but some of us, for situations unbeknownst to us, situations that we could not control, situations that we did not understand, have fell upon some form of financial hardship, to which you need to get your shit together. You need to go on a particular mission. You need to go on a particular vision. You cannot give up on yourself because you're struggling financially. You have to understand that movement and change is related to evolution. You don't evolve and stay in the same spot. And if you look at this card, you can understand what I'm talking about. And to be the Queen of Disc, to embody the Queen of Disc energy, you have to travel. Do you see in the background? It's a desert. So if you reference the energy of being a desert, that means that you got to get up on your shit, grab the ball, and travel. Go into distant places. Now, if you can afford to travel, actually travel. But if you can't travel, travel in the space of your creativity, in the realms of your products, or in the realms of working with people. This energy, when I get into the new moon, we're going to talk a lot about money and finances. Right? And it's all about this week being a pivotal week spiritually. Listen, this is the time that the ancestors are communicating to us. It's called Pitr Pasha. It's called the ancestral fortnight, to which when we live a life where we're not actively doing things in reference to our ancestors, feeding our ancestors, the only energy that we can have is worry. Now, if you're not a spiritual being, you don't have to worry about this. If you play basketball, you don't got to worry about the football tryouts. But you cannot be a spiritual being and not offer things to your ancestors, because your ancestors are suffering. If you were a baby and you weren't fed milk and you weren't fed nutrients, you would suffer on this plane of existence. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Your mom is an ancestor. Your grandmother is an ancestor. If somebody tried to come up on my shit, and not in a derogative way, they were just, this is what people do, right? This is what people do. They try to clarify and qualify their hardship as the one and only hardship that doesn't have to do shadow work or doesn't have to elevate their chakras. Somebody said, well, what if I grew up in a foster care or a foster home? What if I was adopted? Hey, look, whoever plays the role in your life of taking care of your ass, because you was not 2 years old taking care of yourself. Let's be real about this shit. You was not 7 years old taking care of yourself. Let's be real about this shit. You might have thought you was. No, I was on my own when I was 7. Get the fuck out of here. Though, and if it was a fucking foster care worker, let's be clear about this, it was an ancestor. That foster care worker did not give a shit about you. That foster care worker was possessed. Sometimes your mama didn't give a shit about you. Let's be clear about this. You are alive because of your ancestors, because, not to be derogatory, some of our mamas wasn't shit. Oh, let's talk about us as kids. As parents. Y'all ain't never fucked up as a parent with an infant? To which, listen, if you do not channel ancestors during childbirth, if you don't channel ancestors during parenting, you're going to suffer because you don't know shit. Nobody told you shit. Now, something as simple as building a house. You will never say, I can build a house from top to bottom, electrical, plumbing, and not have no instruction. To which y'all have your first child and go raw dog. You go raw dog. So don't go raw dog spiritually. Do altar work, perform offerings, perform prayers, connect with your ancestors. If you do not initially connect with them, keep fucking trying, okay? Don't say, well, I didn't feel nothing. I didn't experience nothing. And when your ancestors gave you milk, they didn't say, I didn't feel nothing when I gave the baby milk. They just assumed that they was doing the right thing when they gave you whatever they gave you. Because look at you now. You getting paper. Okay? Look at you now. Trust me, you did not get here because you was a sexy bitch. You did not get here because you had a college degree. You got here because your ancestors loved you unconditionally. Did they love you perfectly from a human perspective? 10 times out of 10, they didn't. But you'll use that as a reason to be jaded about your upbringing. Well, my mama used to sell pussy. Well, my daddy wasn't here. Well, I was adopted. I don't have a relationship with my ancestors. But your ass would be sitting here in a fucking scat pack, in a fucking high-rise apartment, talking about what your parents didn't do. Somebody did something, motherfucker. Because look at you now. You getting paper. Okay? So, we're looking at opposing energies. This is just how I read cards, okay? I don't say that I read cards the best. I don't know. I used to be jaded about reading and shit because motherfuckers would be like, yeah, your readings is cool, but such and such, he knew my fucking grandma's second name. And I said, congratulations, nigga, but did you get better? Did that make it better that he knew your fucking grandma second name? He knew your grandma's nickname? Congratulations, nigga. This is not a parlor trick. I'm just understanding things as I see it, period, point blank. So we're looking at opposing energies, right? The five of this, the five of coins, the five of pentacles, put you in this state of worry, put you in this state of, I don't think I can make it. It's too hard. And you damn right it's too hard because you operating from your ego. You damn right it's too hard. So you're going to have to deal with this two of swords energies. Let's deal with this. We're dealing with the moon and Libra. The thing about the moon is that it's a mutable entity. The moon is never just one thing. The moon is full, the moon is new, the moon is waxing, the moon is waning, the moon is in a quarter, right? The moon is always changing. Libra requires balance in the changes of the earth in the world, to which your sense of self and your inner peace and your power is not related to how good things go for you. In reference to being a biological entity, your sense of self is based upon one thing. It's called homeostasis. Because we cannot assist our body, our spirit, our ancestors in the way that we think we can. We can only assist them by being intuitive. We can only assist them by understanding what we don't understand. Is nothing that you will understand in reference to the two of swords. So how does this come across in the reading? Worrying about how the money will flow. Worrying about when. Hood, you said the money was going to flow this week. It's Wednesday, ain't no money flowed yet. It's Friday, ain't no money flowed yet. Hood, ain't no money flowed yet. Now you looking for the money. That's taking you outside of peace. Oh, I don't believe this shit anyway. My shit is already bad. I don't give a fuck anyways. That's taking you outside of peace. What is peace? Balancing in the changes. Changes, moon, Libra, balance. Being balanced in changes is, if you study biology, all particular beings, especially mammals, they do not survive off of intellect. The smartest person can die, right? A genius can transition. A dumb person can live to 100 by simply being at peace with itself. Y'all got some grandmamas who mean as hell, some granddaddies who mean as hell, right? Still alive, smoking cigarettes, talking shit. Y'all nice grandma, y'all nice granddaddy, they died when they was 65 because they took too much shit. They took too much shit, and that's a recipe for disaster. You doing all of these particular things for other people, and you pulling yourself out of your centering yourself into the peace polarity. So once again, trust your intuition, trust your ancestors, trust if you. Now this is for people who are going through a tough time. Acknowledge your bottom and say, this is my bottom. I'm not getting no lower than here. This week, I'm only going up. This week, I'm moving in the direction of my prosperity. Listen, if you got your shit together, you should not be listening to this message. But if you don't got your shit together, say, this is about as bad as it's going to get. I ain't going to go no lower than this. From here, I'm making the changes and the decisions because you've been trying ever so lightly to make the small changes to do the better things. And if it haven't worked out for you, be extreme with the changes that you need to make to reach your financial goals, because this shit is nothing to play with. Once again, I'm only going to say this again and one time only. Deal with your ancestors. Work with your ancestors. Give them offerings this whole entire month. Halloween is just not one day. Halloween is this whole entire moon and lunar phase. So work with your ancestors. If you need an inspiration, if you need an understanding, if you think I'm just this crazy cuckoo nigga on YouTube, watch a $1 billion movie called Coco. Spirit said, just watch that movie to understand everything that I'm talking about if you don't understand exactly what I'm talking about. Y'all ancestors is with y'all. Y'all not dealing with them and they mad. Mercury and Taurus is trickster energy. You think it's fucked up, but it's really good. And you just so conditioned in your mind to be on fuck shit that you don't even realize how good it is. You don't even realize how blessed you is. Remove all of the blocks. Remove all of the things that is separating you from your finances by dealing with your ancestors. Very simple shit. And I'm saying it over and over again because it's so simple that a nigga will not do it. Okay? Find peace within yourself. Don't get into no petty arguments. Don't let your thoughts shift. Besides, stay centered. Stay within yourself. Let all it, you see all of these energies around, a lot of noise around you right now, a lot of noise around you, but release all of the noise. Find your center. Find your homeostasis.